Well, spring is truly here. I quit coffee today and I feel a migraine coming on. It's funny how we get so accustomed to these things, whether it's physically or mentally, beliefs that we carry, habits, and when we stop doing them, there's parts of us that cries out in pain. Um, I grew up with a lot of migraines. Grew up in the foothills of Alberta, and every time there was a Chinook, and sometimes 3 to 4 times a week, felt like I was getting a significant migraine where I'd have to go into basically absolute stillness, usually on the cold bathroom floor, and have to relieve the pressure just to feel good. But it's interesting because going through the pain, I had such a strong aversion to taking any kind of painkiller or pharmaceutical drugs or pills. Um, I'm grateful my parents tried many different alternative uh, health practices like acupuncture, laser therapy, chiropractic, all kinds of things to help remedy me. But it really came down to the pressure of the environment, and I think how I was breathing and the holding patterns I was keeping energetically. So I've learned some things since then. But every time I quit coffee, um, I find I do get a headache. Right now, I feel like I have a migraine, and I wasn't even expecting to do this video. But I saw the geese and I saw the return spring, and I said, you know what? I am going to see what comes through. And I have been contemplating so deeply the value of gratitude and the portal that it offers, and really the key, I think, to establishing the paradigm of community that we all yearn for. Well, maybe not all, but I think many of us are searching, seeking, yearning for a way where we can be more in harmony with one another. You know, we all say it takes a village to raise a child, and yet especially in the West, we do not live that way. And so as I've been contemplating this, stepping more into my role as a steward of community and a visionary of a higher way that we can live together, I've wondered what are the simplest ways to achieving this. And I realize community is truly an inner game. We need to first find unity with our true self, with our creator, and then communicating that in a way that invites people into the fold really creates an environment where we can shine. And I've been contemplating this for some time. I really love the metaphor of the butterfly and how that transformation that the caterpillar goes through to become a butterfly is so ineffable, and it's such a metamorphosis. I mean, there's no remnants of the caterpillar left, it seems, when the butterfly emerges. It's such a different perspective and experience of life. And of course, this is present in a lot of, creatures in the world, but it's such a just symbolic expression of what I think it means to step into our Christ nature, our highest consciousness, our mastery of the elements, so to speak, in different words. I don't think we will know I don't think we can know what it feels like to soar like our butterfly selves from the vantage of a caterpillar. So I'm very excited for that, for our species, for our world, to see humanity really in its brilliance. But what is the chrysalis for us? I've contemplated this for some years now. We have a tendency to gather things, technology, homes. We are creative, and we create like a caterpillar weaves its cocoon, or it has that outward expression. But lately I've been seeing more and more that community is actually the chrysalis for all of us, because it's this container of witnessing in one way or another. We are this social organism as a species, And for better or worse, I mean, we we shine a light on the things that we are going through. Um, but when we can do it intentionally and with compassion and care for our neighbors, and really create spaces where shining our truth, our love of life in whatever way, our creative expression, and standing in the truth of our power as co-creators, it just feels like what a beautiful chrysalis to emerge from, to be witnessed, to step into our highest calling. And so I've been thinking about that and what that means when considering humankind as in its oneness, as an expression within the oneness of all, but just as the species itself, looking at it as a social organism that is really drawn from a oneness where we all have, of course, individual experiences and perspectives to share within it, but really we are one. We are interconnected. We affect one another. We are creating the circumstances of life collectively here. So, some contemplations while my head is pounding. I don't know how I've been able to really talk this, but here we go. And love and blessings to all who are watching and listening. Thank you.